Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. And I quit. I just plain quit. And I think you should too. And that's what we're going to talk about today in this episode. And if this is your first time here, I am Chris, your host, and I am glad that you have found us. If it's not your first time here, it would be greatly appreciated if you would like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. So, yeah, I quit. I didn't quit drinking. I didn't quit smoking cigarettes. I didn't quit a lot of illegal activities, which I don't want to talk about because, well, I don't really do it. And I don't smoke either. But what I did quit was trying to be Warren Buffett Jr. That's right. I said it. I stopped trying to do exactly what the Oracle of Omaha does, which is pick exquisite stocks to buy that pay benefits and dividends and just grow and spit cash out the windows like there's no tomorrow. And he's done it forever. I thought I could do that. I mean, how hard is it to pick a good stock? I mean, look around. There's companies everywhere, and they seem to be doing great because, well, the drive up window is always full. There's people all the time just throwing money across the counter and walking away with food and TVs and you name it. I mean, it's out there, right? So how hard could it be? Well, in my less wise youth, I thought it was pretty easy. And I tried it. And I tried it again. And again and again and again. And you know how that story goes. Every time I tried, I failed. Now, someone had once written that if you fail once, then you need to get back up on the horse, so to speak, and try again, and try again, and try harder, and try one more time. And honestly, I did all of that. And there came a point where I finally got smart enough to realize that you're not Warren Buffett. You're not that good. You can't pick stocks like he does. Stop looking at the gurus on YouTube and television and magazines and books and everything else, and the library and the bookstore and all that kind of stuff, and stop trying to emulate them, and let's just do it, get rich the easy way. Like there was an old commercial back decades ago, and it was like, we help our clients get richer, or we help our clients get rich the old-fashioned way. And by that, they were talking about, slowly. There's nothing wrong with slow. I mean, we live in a society where everybody wants everything now, and they want it fast, and they want it made to order and customized, and they want it like before lunchtime today. And guess what? It just doesn't happen that way for the average person. Now, yeah, if you were Warren Buffett, you've got decades of experience and knowledge behind you. More knowledge you have probably forgotten than most of us average people will ever learn. More or less retain knowledge of. So taking Warren Buffett's best advice for the average person was take your money, put it in an S&P 500 index fund, and let it ride. And honestly, that's pretty good advice. I mean, look who it came from, right? Warren Buffett himself. So 25 or so years ago, I did exactly that. I quit. I quit trying to play the game and make the fast buck and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it just got to the point where it was like, okay, well, let's try Warren Buffett's way of doing business, and let's get an S&P 500 fund or something similar. A total stock market index fund is just as good. Or if you prefer ETFs these days, you can do ETFs as well. There's nothing wrong with that. So have you quit? like I did, or are you still picking individual stocks? And if you are, well, that's fine. I mean, to each his own, right? Um, to me, it got to the point, like I say, where I wasn't picking good ones. I was losing more money than it was worth in valuation of those stocks that I did choose. Yeah, you get the outlier that you make a few bucks per share, and at the end of the year, if you're still holding it and you're up a couple of bucks, you figure like, well, okay, I made something. But then by the time you cash out and pay taxes on all of that, well, you're back in the red. You're back in the negative territory, valuation wise, from where you started and where you ended up. So, not financial advice to you or anyone that happens to come across this video, but um, index fund investing can take a load off of your mind. You can set it and forget it. And if you have the diligence and the desire to get ahead, make your million or two or $10 million or whatever over your lifetime, index investing may be the right way to go for you. Pick a good stock index fund. The S&P 500 from Vanguard is a good one. There's VU is one that a lot of people tout. That's an ETF. There are also regular mutual funds, and there are subtle differences between them. The biggest one is the ETF is going to be bought and sold like a stock, like a regular company stock. So if you say I want to buy a share at market value now, you're going to get it. If you say I want to buy it, but I want to buy it at 10 cents lower than the price is currently, you might or you might not get it that day or any other day for that matter, depending on whether the market is going up or going down. The other big thing is that for the most part, not every company, but most brokerage companies like Vanguard and things of that nature, if you want to buy an ETF, you have to buy it in the correct amount. In other words, you can't just throw $100 towards an ETF that the current price is $200. They're not going to give you a half a share. They're going to say, yeah, you owe us another $100 and then we'll buy the share for you unless the price has changed. So if you want to buy that ETF and you want to pay $200 for the share of it, you can get it now. You don't have to wait, but you're not going to be able to buy fractional shares or fractions of a share in that regard. Now, a mutual fund, an index mutual fund, is totally the opposite. If it's $150 or $200 a share for that index mutual fund that you want to purchase, and you only got $100, you can buy $100 worth. So it's kind of like you buying a fractional share of an index mutual fund, right? So that you can do all day, every day. Just understand that it's going to settle at the end of the trading day. It's not going to be like an ETF where you can buy it at 10 o'clock in the morning. At 10:05, you're probably going to own that particular fund. If you put in to buy a share of a mutual fund or a fractional portion of a share at 10 a.m., it's not going to close, if you buy it, it's not going to complete the sale of that, I should say, until close of business for the trade day that day. Okay, if it's 4:30, then that's when you're going to get it, and it's going to be at whatever that price happened to have been at the close of the day. So if it was $100, it was $100. If it was 110, it was 110. So that's the way, and the big difference between the ETFs and the index or the mutual funds, index mutual funds. So are you ready to quit? If you have been going down the road that I went down, maybe you're ready now. Maybe you're not ready to quit. But at some point you might decide you are ready to quit. and that's okay. Quit. Be a quitter. Be a quitter. Everybody doesn't like a quitter, but you know what? Quitting depends on what it is that you're quitting. And if it's throwing away money potentially on company stock shares that are not making you money, feel perfectly good about quitting. Go to the index mutual fund or the ETF share route. Dollar cost average into it. Make yourself some additional cash and savings. And if you do that regularly, over a period of time, you are slowly going to make your first or second or 10th $1,000,000. It's easy to do. It's easy to get started. It's easy to continue doing through dollar cost averaging. If you want to lump sum it, you can do that as well. But lump sum for most people is probably not the best route to go. And I say that simply because there's a little thing called buyer's remorse. Familiar with it? I bet you are. If you bought a car in the past 10 or 15 years, particularly in the last 5 years or so, you saw where car prices went from an average of $25,000, maybe $28,000 for a brand new vehicle. Car, truck, van, didn't matter. Where a couple of years later, right about the time COVID kicked off and made life just such an enjoyable adventure, car prices doubled. And in some cases, more than doubled. And you went to the lot, and after they picked you up, after you looked at the sticker prices on the windows, you figured that maybe a brand new car right now might not be in the works for you, might not be the best thing for you. So car prices have gone back down some, but guess what? Sticker shock is still there. And so not dollar cost averaging, in other words, doing a lump sum into an index mutual fund or an ETF, it can still give you sticker shock when you put in your $5,000 today and tomorrow the market takes a 10% dump and overnight you just lost $500 and you haven't even had your coffee yet in the morning, right? So that's when buyer's remorse kicks in when it comes to investing. You start second guessing and you're like, oh my gosh, I just lost $500. I better pull it all out before I lose the rest of it. And so you sell it off, and at the end of the day or the following day, you look at the stock market results and it's up 300 points. The problem is you sold everything yesterday at a loss, and if you had stayed in for that extra 8 or 12 hours, you'd have seen a $400 price increase, or not a price increase per se, but you know what I mean. You would have seen a positive gain in that mutual fund. So you would have gained back all but $100 that had gone down in less than 24 hours. So now you're really kicking yourself in the pants, right? You're thinking, gosh, if I'd have just put my money in there and left it, instead of putting it in and then pulling it right back out the following day, then everything would have been great. And I'd have been basically back to zero and ready to move forward. So you put your money back in, and what happens? Well, the market takes another 100 point drop. And now you're kicking yourself again. It is a never rewarding cycle if you think you're going to time the market. Put your money in, take it out, put your money in, take it out. People don't get rich that way. They get broke that way very, very quickly. So you can take you can take two approaches. You can continue to do what you're doing and not quit, or you can quit and go the index route, as Warren Buffett suggested for the average person. And you know, I mean, be realistic. If you are working a job, you have a family, and in many instances you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're an average person. Not saying that in a bad way, so don't throw stones, don't throw rocks, and don't be upset. But being an average person is what most of us are. 99 out of 100 of us are just average people. We get up in the morning, we go to work, we work our job, we come home, we pet the dog and have dinner with the family and play with the kids. And if you're an empty nester and you don't have kids at home anymore, you sit down, you watch TV, you have an adult beverage or a soda or something, and you probably fall asleep on the couch before 8 o'clock. That's average. That's just what people do. And it's not just in the United States, it's all over the place, it's all over the world. The language is a little different, but that's about it. So I quit. And I won't say it again. I hope that you will take some information from this video. You will think about whether it's smart for you to quit. I'm not telling you you need to or you should or you have to or it is an option. And when you sit back and look at yourself and your lifestyle and your job and family and all that kind of thing, you may decide that it's a smart thing for you to quit too. It could even make you a millionaire faster than doing it the way you've been doing it. So anyway, I'm starting to ramble, so I'm going to get off here and let you guys go back to whatever you were doing before you clicked on this video. Again, I do hope that you will consider subscribing and liking the video and showing and sharing this video and others here on the channel with other people that you are friends and family with. And until next time, I hope you have a great rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, or whatever it is that where you are living. So have a good one and take care. Bye now.